In this section, we're going to be talking about ratios, and a ratio compares two quantities with the same units. Now, this is extremely important. That same units part is very, very important because the only way that we can compare two things is if they do have the same units. So that means comparing dollars to dollars, feet to feet, days to days. Whatever, it doesn't matter, but they must be the exact same thing, the exact same unit. Now, ratios can be written three ways. Let's look at the most popular way first. So let's say that we want to compare monthly income to bills, somebody's stuff here. So let's say that their income is $2,000 a month and their monthly bills are $1,500. Now, the first way that we write a ratio is as a fraction, and this is the most common way that we write ratios. So if we are comparing their income to their bills, then we would write their income on top, which is $2,000, and their bills on bottom. We would keep it in that same ratio or that same proportion. Now, when we have 2,000 over 1,500, we could reduce that because this is technically just a fraction. So all of the rules of fractions still apply. So if we were to divide both of these by 1,000, then that would cancel out our two zeros, or actually by 100 rather, I should say. That would cancel out our two zeros and leave us with 20 over 15. Now, if we're looking at 20 and 15, they both have a 5 in common. So we could divide 5 into 20, which would be 4, and dividing 5 into 15, which would be 3. So reduced, our fraction would be 4/3. So we could technically say then that the ratio of income to bills is 4/3. It always needs to be in fully simplified form if at all possible. Now, our second way that we write ratios is using a colon. So this would be 4, 2, 3 is exactly how it's read. The third way that we write it is actually using the word 2, comparing 4 to 3. Now, we're going to be using the fraction as our way to write ratios because it is the most common. But it is also good to know this way of writing ratios also, because you see this notation a lot, especially when they talk about odds. Like, for instance, when they say something like your odds of winning are 10 to 1, you'll see it as written something like that. And so this would be things of like, winning some kind of a raffle or, lottery, that kind of thing. Usually when they talk about odds, they're talking about winning something. So we see that a lot. Now, in the next video, we're going to begin actually writing some things as ratios. So we want to practice that next.